Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings with a hand-over-hand method, and I paint the rest. And I will say he has definitely come a long way. He's doing a lot more of the paintings himself. And so I say hand over hand method, but we finish a lot of the stuff together. But he's definitely doing it more on his own. So I'm kind of doing something a little different tonight. I usually don't do a lot of big flowers. And kind of going off the edge here. Just filling in this main thing. I've been trying to work on doing more details, and I'm not always good about patience when it comes to painting. I want it done in 5 minutes, and yeah, when I'm done, when it's 3 hours later and I'm still painting, I don't know. I honestly haven't painted 3 hours, I don't think. Not in a row. So I just like to get it done. And that's like, okay. But I'm very tired tonight. I have one more infusion after this. For those of you that are new, I had breast cancer, and I went through chemo, and then I had my surgery, and then radiation, and now I'm on maintenance infusions. And I had one a week ago on Tuesday, so it's right at a full week here. And some of them just like sour my stomach on everything, and some it's just different. Everyone is a little different version of unfun, but this one in particular just has not been my shining hour of, all the stuff. So I'm still bebopping along. It's not like really slowed me down. It's just my stomach does not prefer this round at all. So with that being said, I only have one more, and so as yuck as I am, that's where my focus is. I only have one more. So anyways, so I'm tired and cranky. I'm trying to add a little bit more of the color in here, and like I said, I'm gonna fill in some of that. Some of the details, like if you can see the rooster there, like sometimes that doesn't, like I like doing the animals or whatever, and that as hard as it can be with all the details, I like doing the details for some of the animals and different things, even though I still could do a lot more and more patience, etc., etc., etc. But big flowers, like I said, is just not something I generally do, but I'm trying to get to the point where I'm going to be painting some bigger canvases. And if you paint bigger canvases, not always, but I want to paint some bigger style flowers. And with that, again, there's more details, or can be more details, and I'm trying to kind of get to that point. So, which reminds me, I need to, all my days are blending together, and I set myself reminders, and then if I don't do it exactly when it goes off, it's just not, then I'm not reminded, and now I've just reminded myself that I was supposed to do some stuff tomorrow, and I haven't accomplished it today to be able to do it tomorrow. But ball bounce, there's like little, that must be from that other brush. I like the brushes that have the more solid handles, because this little piece was from the wood handled brush, or I guess it's not technically, well, I guess it's wood with paper around it or something, I don't know, but it they fall off parts, so anyways, so Owen had a pretty good day. He had some moods, but again, who doesn't? And he's coming off of a big weekend where he did lots of things, so it was a lot for him. And when you're going through one thing after another, it's a lot to think about and deal with, and it's a big process. And like last night we went to a as he called it, hamburger s'mores, and we were out later than his bedtime. And I mean, I am not opposed to him being out later than his bedtime, but his bedtime is very important to him. And he starts asking for bedtime around 7, and we didn't get home until, I want to say, 8:30, maybe 9. I would have to look to see what time last night I was home, because I can't. Truly, everything blends together. But it's he has a hard time like separating that from having fun and different things. But with that being said, he enjoyed it so much, and it was wonderful, because the family that we went with has 2 younger kids, and the boy especially, he's I want to say he's almost 7, somewhere around that age. And then he has the younger little sister, and both amazing with Owen and want to play with him and different things. And I love that, because you're getting to see so much more with him being able to play. And he kept running to me and telling me that he wanted the kids to come sit with him and play on his tablet, and just all these different emotions and moments and such. And you know, when he has friends and he likes to talk about people, and he has a lot of adults that he wants to go do things with, and just so forth and so on. But when you see your child playing, interacting with another child and playing like they were playing together on his tablet and doing these different things, and it's so amazing and heartwarming, and he was just loving every bit of it. And that's so, it's just like I'm at a loss for words. And if you've been watching, you know I'm not at a loss for words, because he struggles with play and how to play with somebody. Like when I tell him to go play without his tablet, he just like walks around the house, and occasionally he'll pick up like one of his sensory toys or something, and he plays games. We play games, but he just doesn't like imaginative play on his own. Isn't really something that he's done or does. And again, I mean, he does it, but it's just a whole different type of way. So seeing these kids interact with him and going through the motions and wanting him to come outside and sit by the fire and talk to him, and just all of it's so so amazing. So amazing. So that's one of those just love moments, just complete. And I can't, I'm telling you, I can't talk tonight. Just beautiful. It's just a beautiful moment in time that I cherished. Just having him be able to feel at home there, and I didn't have to worry about anything. The kids were constantly with him, and the mom and dad both spent a lot of time, and we had another church friend there with us as well. And so I didn't have to worry about him at all. He got to run around their property. He'd come in and out and just ask them to play, and he swang, and he had his s'mores, and he was too it's too emotional for him to eat a hamburger. Like, he couldn't process that because it's a lot for him. But he, like I said, he enjoyed every bit of being there. And then he was getting a little concerned with the stars coming out, and he was still out when it was dark. But he was able to kind of work through it and process it and stay. And when he got home, he said it was I'm trying to think of the exact words. He said, "It's time to say, dear God, thank you for Owen. Amen." Because he knew it was his bedtime. And it's just wonderful to know that he felt great being there, and then dealt with all of the changes and just all of it. So today was another big day for him. It was teacher conferences. And so our friend was in town, and we got to go out to breakfast with her. And then he went to my mom's house while I went to the I'm telling you, teacher conference. And he brings so much joy to me because he's doing great in school, and she had all wonderful things to say. He's progressing. He goes back and forth on a few things, which does not surprise me at all, the way, like with reading and math and different things. And it sometimes feels like he processes things differently at different times. But he's scoring well on everything, and that's the important part. He's doing good. So, again, I'm very, very thankful for where he's at and what's going on, and just the moments. The moments. So, I feel like this needs a little more roughness to the edges. So we'll see what happens here. But then he went to his music therapy, and when we were at breakfast, his vision doctor's office called, and his doctor wasn't going to be there today. And so Owen sent in the leprechauns to make her feel better. That's what he always says, that the leprechauns fix buildings, they make people feel better, they do all kinds of help, and it's just years ago we had a horrible storm come through, and it just took out power and just one thing after another. And somehow Owen decided that the leprechauns were coming to fix the different things at his school and around town. And since then, this was several years ago, he says that the leprechauns need to come fix XYZ, whatever it is. And if, like I said, if somebody's sick, and he goes through like the town, like when we're driving around, and if he sees something that he knows was broken, he will say that the leprechauns fixed it. So it's quite amazing how his beautiful, amazing little brain, there's nothing really little about it. His beautiful, amazing big brain figures these things out. See, this is what I was saying. It just feels like it needs, like this is too, I don't want to say cartoony, but it needs to be rough around the edges. Like it needs more of a, I don't know. So we will see what happens as I go along here. Now, obviously, I can't do these two like that, but that's my stomach telling me it's not happy with infusion day. I just keep praying I only have one more, and that's what gets me through these. It's and I'm cancer free, so that's what I'm holding on to. That is what I'm holding on to. Uh, um, so when we were at his music therapy today, one of the other parents that brings their child there goes to our church, so he knows them, from church and from there, of course. And he has really blue pants is his thing, but now he wants everyone to wear their hair up in a ponytail. And so we are there, and she has a clip in her hair, but it's not her hair in a ponytail. And I think he's becoming more focused on that because I don't have enough hair to put in a ponytail. And it's so interesting to me because when he was younger, and even, it's just recently that he's kind of been okay with me wearing hats and ponytails. And I knew a lot of my cancer journey would be about trying to get him to understand that it was okay if I wore, if I cut my hair, or, well, I lost my hair, but I did cut it many, many times. And he didn't like any of that prior to this. He didn't want my hair up. And only recently, like I said, did he get to the point where it was even okay for that. So he got there, and he just would not let it go that he wanted her to wear her hair back. And she didn't have a clip or ponytail holder, and B, she had her hair exactly like she wanted her hair to be. And he was getting really upset about it. Now, I would love to be able to redirect him and move him forward. I'd like to be able to, get him motivated into something else. I'd like to talk to him about XYZ, all of the things. But attempting to redirect him is, I tried. I explained to him that if he kept telling her that she had to wear her hair back, that we would have to leave his appointment. I tried talking to him, trying to get him to tell her different things about the pool that we went to, and like walking out of the room, and just you name it, tried to redirect. Owen does not redirect. He will focus on something that has been years in the making, and it's not going to go away quickly. And we've worked with lots of his therapists, behavioral specialists, just you name it. We've tried different types of just things, and rewards, and I don't know. There are things that he can be opinionated about, and there are things that he can have options about. But if you are going to walk up to somebody and try to pull their hair back and do different things like that, or pull their hair down, or sit on their foot because they're not wearing blue pants, etc., 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 these are behaviors that we cannot do. And, for years he had meltdowns over things like someone eating a banana, someone even holding a banana, doors, windows, like just tons and tons of things. So there again are things that he can have opinions about, and he can be in those moments about those things. And that is truly, he can do that. But if we are to walk out our door and he's having meltdowns because someone is or isn't wearing their hair back, or wearing blue jeans, or then we can't go out our door. It's just hard. And I mean, he can't, there's just, and it's hard for me to process because, when you tell your child no, or you tell your child they can't, or you tell your child something, and they don't even have the way to process or listen to you in that moment, what do you do? How do you handle it? Walking away from a situation where he's getting ready to go into therapy, and I'm telling him that he needs to focus on something different. Luckily, we're at a place where the parents understand then, but we're not always in a place where people understand when my child walks up to them and tells them that they have to have blue pants on, or they have to. And the thing is, it can go days, weeks, months, and that's not an issue. And then all of a sudden it is. And where do you go from there? Where do you take it to the next moment? How do you get him to calm down? And we work on diversion, we work on breathing techniques, but when he's in a sensory moment and he's overloaded, then so I learn, I grow, I try to figure it out, go on to the next type of thing to get him to understand. And the one thing that I hold on to is he's been to so many therapists, so many, behavioral specialists, doctors, different things, and everybody says the same thing. They've never met a child like Owen. And that, it's beautiful, it's amazing, it's wonderful, and it gives me a sense of peace when I'm trying to help him and I'm not even understanding how to, figure out a situation or try to walk him through something, when experts, people that have been in the biz, are at a loss at some of the things that he's so brilliant. He remembers when he was a baby. I mean, he remembers the things that he did. He can tell me where he went to, show me where he went to all of his daycares and, schools and different things like that. So he's amazing. He's amazing, and I learn stuff from him all the time. And I'm going to keep learning for him, with him, and try to do my best to help him grow, help me grow. Okay, so we can keep doing many layers of many things. I need to calm it down and only do some highlighting and work on more things, but we got a big flower and it's pretty. It's different, kind of. So, well, that's what we're going to do. And I'm going to bed. So, we do O for Owen. Another little piece of thing. That was very descriptive. The brush, L, and B. So there we are. All right. Thank you so much for watching and being a part of our day. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe. Toodles, toodles.